Doki, wetin dey sup now? Why young people dey die anyhow like this?
Kunle, you'll have to be specific because young people are dying for a lot of different reasons.
Doki, e get one of my padi friend like that wey dem talk say e just hold chest, fall down, die like that. As my padi dey gist me, the matter just dey vex me. The guy go don hustle for this our hard economy.
Kunle, no doubt the economy is hard and the government has a lot of work to do to right their wrongs, but I don't think this man's death is primarily due to the hard economy.
Doki, wetin you mean?
Sounds like the guy had what you would call a heart attack, and obviously no one was present that knew how to do CPR to save the guy's life.
Doki, this CPR thing wey una dey always talk about, no be to dey press chest, no be wetin dey kill them be that.
On the contrary, Kunle, CPR done properly and on time has saved many lives. I'll refer you to a video by my colleague Aproko Doctor on how to carry out CPR in emergency situations. But anyway, let's face more important issues. Why would a young man like that suddenly have a heart attack and die?
Doki, if you ask me, na who I go ask? No be you be doctor. Dey talk your talk dey go.
Okay, Kunle, sure you have heard stories about people who died in their sleep or who suddenly held their chest or their head, slumped and died suddenly. What do people say of people like that?
Baba, na OA be that now. Owaye, arrow, spiritual attack.
Aha, Kunle, that's where the problem lies. We are quick to explain some things away, whereas there are some things that when you look at them closer, you can have explanation. You want to know what the commonest cause of sudden death in young adults in this part of the world is?
Baba, educate me, I dey hear you.
It's heart disease, Kunle, and more specifically, hypertensive heart disease. Closely related, sometimes causing death, and in some other cases causing paralysis, is stroke due to very high blood pressures and sometimes diabetes or a combination of both.
Doki, na wow. This hypertension thing wey na always dey talk about, I been think say na disease of old people. Why can't they affect young people plenty now?
Well, Kunle, there are several factors. Our lifestyle and eating has changed over the years, especially to copy the Western world, and it has negatively affected our health. It's however important to note that there is a hereditary component to diseases like hypertension and diabetes, which means if either of your parents has any of these diseases, you should be more careful.
Doki, how many of us know if our parents get blood pressure or blood sugar problem?
Well, Kunle, truth is that it is easier now to know if our parents have any of these diseases, unlike how it was for our own parents knowing the health status of their parents. Because then, people would just suddenly die and there will be no explanations other than a spiritual attack of some sort. However, people are more enlightened now.
So wetin man go do now? Make person no go get rokpa stroke. Abi make person no go get heart attack, kpai like chicken.
Well, it starts with young people especially getting regular health checks, not assuming that their health is sound because they feel strong and agile. Simple, regular blood pressure and blood sugar checks could be life-saving, and knowing your family's medical history is very important. If you find out either of your parents were hypertensive or diabetic, you need to pay a closer attention to your health.
But wetin person fit do to prevent this hypertension and diabetes now? I been think say na stress and old age dey cause am.
Well, Kunle, like I said earlier, simple lifestyle changes can be very helpful. Taking less salt and seasoning in our diet, less of processed foods, no soda at all, or much less of it if you have a problem stopping altogether, and stopping things like alcohol, smoking, and being a little more active are things that can be helpful.
But Doki, natural remedy dey for these things now. No be leaves and herbs our grandmama and grandpapa dem dey use and dem dey alright. You and this your agbo fight.
Kunle, I have said it over and over again. The issue is not with the use of roots and herbs. They form the basis for the drugs that we prescribe. The issue is with standardization. I mean, knowing the things that are in the roots and herbs, separating the things that are harmful, determining how much is just enough, too much, or too little of the good things in those roots and herbs. And this takes a lot to achieve. Studies, research must be done to ensure safety.
Baba, una wahala plenty. study, research, all na money, na long thing.
Okay, Kunle, let me give you an example. You drink Zobo, right?
Yes now. Zobo na better natural drink wey dem dey make from Zobo leaves. Dem come add things like pineapple bark and other things to make am sweet. Na that kind thing you dey call best served cold.
Well said, Kunle. Do you realize that a study was done recently by one of our Nigerian professors who is a professor of cardiovascular physiology and currently the DVC of UNN, Enugu, Nigeria? His study was on Zobo leaves, and he found that Zobo leaves, when hygienically and properly prepared, has some antihypertensive and even anti-diabetic effects.
Ope o, na to dey drink Zobo regular be that o.
Well, not quite, Kunle. Firstly, he established that the Zobo leaves must be prepared without all those extra add-ons like pineapple and sugar. And what that means is that with proper preparation, the Zobo will taste sour. He also spoke about the risk of an overdose causing harm to the kidneys and to the liver. In addition, he spoke about the risk of the use for people with low blood pressure and how it interferes in the treatment of malaria by reducing the effectiveness of certain malaria drugs. So you see, Kunle, we are back at the same spot. He had to recommend that industrialists and business people invest in the commercial production of these Zobo leaves in the proper way such that it can be used medicinally to prevent or to treat hypertension and diabetes.
Omo, wahala o. Zobo leaf go soon cost o, because I know say my people no go hear this kind thing. Make dem no take am make money sharp sharp.
Oh, sure, Kunle. And before you know it, some people will be mixing Zobo leaves with all manner of condiments and concoctions and touting it as a treatment for all diseases. So we need to be careful. Science is for our benefit, not against us. So we must embrace it and take advantage of it. Yet, we must do the simple things like getting regular health checks. And if you find out there's any issue with your blood pressure or your blood sugar, see a registered physician who will test you and give the necessary treatment. Finally, we must all ensure we know how to carry out CPR so that we can save lives in emergency situations.
Okay, Odoki, I hear you. Make I come dey go. We go dey see later.